Hi, I'm Philipp Moehrke from Moehrke's Music Factory and thanks for tuning into my video. This is the second video of Alligator Bogaloo, now focusing on improvisation to a left-hand ostinato bass. The bass pattern is actually quite simple. We reduce the content to only bar 1 and 2. And now the fun part starts. We try to play quarter notes with the right hand against the rhythm of the left hand. Actually quite simple, you might think. It should sound like this. If this works for you, please fast forward. If not, here comes the solution. Counting plus slow motion. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The same principle can be used for the second basic rhythm, offbeats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I will show you now in a time lapse how I practiced for many weeks. I practiced these first exercises with downbeats for 3 minutes a day, and 3 minutes can seem like a hell of a long time. I'm shortening the process drastically for this video, but I can only recommend everyone to try this method consistently. The method goes like this. I start with one simple note, in our case a C, and only play quarter notes. Then I keep the rhythm of quarter notes, but use tones from the blues scale. And on the third step, I leave rests, and this is quite difficult. You will see. And then I repeat the same thing with offbeats. Oh, and by the way, I have learned this method as 30 minutes units instead of 3-minute units, but that was actually too hard for me, I'm sorry. After a certain time, 3 days, 3 weeks or 3 months, you will have the feeling that you have mastered these two basic rhythms and no longer have to think about them. Your breath goes without stopping, and it's an inner certainty that the rhythm has been mastered. The next rhythm is called a displacement, a rhythmic phrase consisting of an 8-note and a quarter note. Alternately, this pattern starts on the downbeat and on the offbeat. Ideal as a next practice step on our journey to rhythmic independence. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. come two rhythm combinations that look quite simple at first: downbeat, offbeat, and vice versa. Number one goes like this. Variation number two is really hard, because with our particular Bogaloo ostinato bass patterns, both hands are constantly playing rhythmically against each other. And now for the good news. You have already practiced the most difficult rhythms. From now on, it gets easier. A reason to party, to mix up the rhythms you've already learned. So far, we have focused more on the rhythms than on the tones. We have drawn our tone material for our rhythmic exercises from the blues scale. Over this special bass pattern, you can play different modes or scales. I would like to introduce you to the four most common ones. We move forward to four very essential rhythms that every improviser should have internalized. I will now demonstrate these four rhythms using the Mixolydian scale as an example. With the previous techniques, we have learned the following material. Actually, the material of rhythms and tones is quite manageable, but the challenge really comes to light when improvising with the material. So here are two simple tips that may help you improvising a better solo. watch out. The good news is that you don't need to practice all possible options, but only the possibilities that sound good. And these can almost always be found on recording. So my tip of the day is listen to as much music as possible, and at the parts you spontaneously like. Stop the recording, rewind and listen to this part several times. Sing it, play it, transpose it into other keys. This is how you find your personal favorites out of the jungle of possibilities. And if you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel to receive new content every week. Thank you.